Alan, what can you tell us about just the huddle in general and what was going on in the field, the communication, the attitude as the game started to get away Sunday?
I mean, everybody was straight. The game, I don't feel like it. I mean, I guess it got away like late in the fourth quarter. I mean, obviously we ain't making enough plays, but I think everybody was locked in. I feel like we had some chances because I did in the third quarter, early fourth quarter, to be able to, kind of maybe put some points up to probably, maybe get closer to kind of change the ultimate outcome of the game.
Were they doing some things on the back end defensively to kind of take away the receivers, or was it more of a byproduct of just not having enough time to let things develop?
Well, I mean, they was running 3-6, cover 4. I mean, I don't think nobody was doing nothing crazy. I mean, we just got to execute.
And as a veteran guy, what kind of advice can you give to Justin just about how to bounce back from a rough day like that?
It's just a long season. I mean, he's very early in his career. So, Coach always told me when I was a rookie and at that point in my career, it's never as bad as it seemed and never as good as it seemed. You got another week to go out there and, put it all together.
Alan, following up on that a little bit, how hard is it for you to bounce back from these games? It's got to be frustrating.
I just go out there and, again, try to assess the tape, try to figure out where I can get better at. Like I said before, one thing that I always look at on the film the next day is my game speed, my play speed, how was I in and out of my breaks and stuff like that. It's always a play or two that you feel like that you could get back throughout the course of the game. But, other than that, how I watched the tape and how I was moving around, getting in and out of my cuts, I thought that was where I want to be at. So it's just about trying to just maximize my opportunities.
Alan, how beneficial for Justin do you think it would be to get out there and put this behind him and play another game? Because I imagine the only thing worse than what happened Sunday was then being forced to sit and think about it for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a benefit of NFL. I think it's beneficial for everybody to go out there and kind of, play another game. Being able to put a better performance out there, But again, as players and as competitors, you always want to get back out there and kind of, put that behind you. Obviously, it's what have you done for me lately, league. So, going out there and putting something on tape, being able to perform well, always, puts things like that in the past pretty quickly.
How are you guys as a group, like as players, dealing with the start to the and that game specifically? Has it been any kind of like players only meeting, or just trying to figure it out from your perspective?
I mean, maybe, depending on how the week goes and stuff like that. Again, I mean, I don't know the forecast of what that looks like, but again, just try to correct ourselves first. I think that's the first and foremost, and then go out there and figure out how can we get better.
As a veteran receiver who's been productive in this league, do you have any input during the week about game planning or things you would kind of like to get done on game day?
I mean, for the most part, I just run what's called. I mean, maybe in certain situations, but other than that, just try to go out there and play. That's where my main focus is at. That's where my focus has been at. Just trying to control what I can control, go out there, play to the best of my ability. Play hard. Again, play with my teammates and things like that.
Alan, how would you best describe the difference between last year's Lions defense and this year's? And I know with Matt Patricia, you kind of had a good sense of what they wanted to run a lot of times.
Similar personnel, a little bit different scheme. I mean, to be honest, in the league, there's not too many different things that teams can run. You either get split safety teams, or single high safety teams. I mean, they're still predominantly single high. They mix a little split in there, but for the most part, I mean, it's all relative. Again, I mean, with Coach Patricia, I guess from the optics, they went a little bit more man rather than zone. So their zone will probably be a little bit higher, but other than that, I mean, it's not too much different, that they can do just as a single safety team.
Alan, as a wide receiver room, after a game like last week, do you approach this week of practice any differently, or are you pretty much staying the course?
I mean, what would cause us to approach it differently? No, I'm just saying, like, I don't, what I'm saying? I mean, we just got to try to maximize our opportunity. I mean, there's nothing different that we can I guess, approach it. You know, you got to continue to go out there and work, continue to go out there and try to get better. I mean, and approach it as any different as any week. You know, got to go out there, got to compete, got to try to get better throughout the course of the week.
Alan, offense has evolved, and I'm wondering, during this offseason compared to where you were at the end of last season, is there a fair amount that's new or different with this offense? Your offense?
I would say from the end of last year, I would say a little bit, but again, I mean, it's all based on, you know, players and, you know, doing what, you know, certain things. So, I mean, it's tough. I mean, we had a different team than we had last year. So, obviously, it's gonna be different in some form or fashion, you know, but I mean, right now, we're just trying to figure out, you know, how can we, you know, put it all together, you know, get better, obviously, than we were last week on third down and be able to go out there and have a better performance.
You know, what have you seen? I know we've talked to you about Justin a lot, but what have you seen from him in practice that tells you he's going to easily rebound, like that he's going to be able to put this aside and move on?
I mean, I think first and foremost, he's a competitor. You know, I think that obviously he has all the talent. I mean, we've seen the talent. You know, so again, it's about, you know, him just continuing to grow. You know, I mean, that was his first start. You know, so I mean, I don't know how anybody else's first starts or whatever throughout the course of the years of quarterbacks, but I mean, it's one game, you know, especially for him. You know, it's his first start, one game. You know, I'm sure he'll play, you know, have games where, you know, he'll have many other games that are a lot better, you know. So, I mean, it's one game. I don't think it's nothing for him even to kind of lose sleep over or whatever. You know, he's very young in his career.
How is the game still fun? Do you still find like the joy in it? Like, not just on Sundays, but the day-to-day of it. Do you still
Oh, me personally?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't. So, I mean, each and every day, you know, I love to go out there and get better. I think for me, that's where I find the most fun, that is getting better with my own personal craft. You know, that's the fun of the game. You know, going out there, being able to translate, you know, certain things that you've worked on to the field, to Sunday. Like I said before, my main focus is, you know, after the course of the game, going back and looking at the film, looking at my play speed from play 1 to play 60, you know, seeing how am I getting in and out of my breaks, seeing what I can do better. You know, all those things like that is what makes the game fun. You know, being able to, again, get some catch and run opportunities, you know, being able to, you know, again, like I said before, being able to kind of translate some of the things that I worked on, you know, to the game. You know, obviously I haven't been able to, you know, do it as much as I may have wanted thus far, but at the same time, you know, that's what makes it fun. You know, you put in all the hard work in the offseason to try to cash in right now.
Alan, I don't know if you read it or hear it, but a lot of the outside chatter is about the concept that the only thing that matters for the Bears right now is developing Justin Fields. As a veteran player, when you hear something like that, or if you heard something like that, how do you react to that?
I mean, I haven't heard that. You know, obviously, his development is important. I mean, he's a young player in this league. You know, I mean, we know, you know, as far as even quarterbacks in this league, you know, we know how things go. But again, I mean, that's not anything that, you know, I kind of, you know, for me, it's just about going out there and figuring out, again, how I can get better, how I can help this offense, how I can help the team. You know, I mean, everything else, you know, I don't really, you know, think too much of or worry about too much. You know, just about how can I help the situation that I'm in.
Alan, you guys played only 3 games, but it feels like there's been even more emotional swings kind of in the first 3 weeks, whether it was the opener and then a win and Andy gets hurt and now the game on Sunday. How have you learned over the years to handle those? You know, whether it's the highs or the lows where people outside the building are freaking out?
Yeah, you know, just try to stay even, kill. You know, just like they say, I mean, the eye of the storm is typically the calmest place. You know, so when you're in the mix of it, you know, you're in the eye of it. You know, it's no time, it's no, you know, you can't put your energy towards freaking out. You know, again, like I said before, I try to put all the energy back into the things that I can control and into myself and how I can get better from a week-to-week standpoint. You know, it's assessing the film, figuring out, okay, where can I get better here? Where can I get better here? How can I become a better player? How can I become a better teammate? How can I help us move forward and win games? You know, that's the only thing that, for me personally, that I have the energy for when it comes from a week-to-week standpoint. You know, I don't have the energy to try to figure out what else is going on, what's happening here, what's happening there. You don't got time for that.
Alan, you've been with Coach Fehr for some time now. What's your impressions of him? What are his greatest strengths as a coach, and how does he help you most?
Being able to get guys motivated from a week-to-week standpoint, no matter what's going on, being able to help see the full picture and what's going on as far as, being a player in this league, not taking being a player in this league for granted, being able to seize the opportunity that you may have and things like that, So, those are things that he mentioned to us every day, and I think that, guys would be remiss to, if they didn't think about that, if that's not something that kind of pushed him each and every day, because, again, like you said before, we're all lucky to be in this league and to be able to go out there and compete on Sundays.